What's up, guys? EraseableCrab's here. Welcome back to episode 5, I believe, of the beginner series. Today we're going to be playing some Yellow Stadium games, just basic stuff. Not going to really be doing anything major, just grinding our way through Yellow Stadium, hopefully getting a decent amount of trophies, and then hopefully when the time comes, we'll rank up to White Wasteland. We're going to be using Gwendolyn. Sun Palace is an okay map. Off-Tide, hoping to get something better. Salt Columns is not better, unfortunately. Tack Sub Wizard is what we're going to be using. Sorry for like the 2-week break I took, but that shouldn't happen again. Unless I have something major going on, but I tried adjusting the volume on here. I'm hoping that it'll be better than it usually is, and I think it's a little bit better, but I can't tell until after I record, so let me know what you guys think. Honestly, for this map, I'm thinking we go with a sub towards the back of the map. Then let's start ecoing with grouped reds. And then we want to get Gwendolyn down right over here as soon as possible. So our opponent's going with a wizard. Okay. That'll work. Oh, I never actually put Gwendolyn down. There we go. Round 1, Gwendolyn is a decent thing. But I will be grinding through Bonanza probably on my own since there's only, you know, a day left. But basically in this case scenario, we just want to stall out the rounds as much as we can so we can build up enough money to rush our opponent. Because if we rush them, they're not going to be doing well on this map. They're already struggling a bit, but with Captain Churchill, they should do a lot better. Although that placement isn't the best, but I think they'll still be fine. We're gonna have to go for the airburst darts on our next income boost. We'll get that right now. This will eventually be an AP darts if we do end up going towards the later game rounds where Moabs can be sent. But for right now, we're just gonna get a 0-2-2, and that should be good. Possibly a triple guns if we have to. Let's use cocktail. Because I mean, we're doing okay. I think if we get the heat tip darts, we'll be fine. I'm thinking for their case, we might actually do better if we start space ecoing. Maybe get them to leak a couple lives here and there. Maybe it'll add up. It looks like that might work. The tower boosted. Let's get our triple shot. Or triple guns on. This isn't a dart monkey. But yeah, it looks like they're still leaking pretty consistently. Now if we switch over to group to space whites, which we should have done a long time ago, they should struggle a lot more. Let's go to space blacks though, because Captain Churchill cannot pop them. So if they get past that wall of fire, they'll do a lot more damage. But this is one of those cases where I don't really care what my lives are, what my opponent's lives are. I just want to focus on defending. So we'll get another sub up there. We haven't leaked, and I'm not too worried about leaking lives. It's just I know the sub can get overwhelmed easily, so I don't want to go too far above what it's capable of. And we're just pretty much going to use the cocktail every time it becomes available. But the space eco isn't really working against them anymore. I'll eco with group blues then. And honestly, I'm thinking right here we can get a wall of fire. And this will eventually be our necromancer. We're actually going to sell this sub so we can go for the shimmer and save up for the necro, because the necromancer should be able to fully defend anything that our opponent wants to send us. If you guys haven't seen the other video, then you would know. You wouldn't know, but with a tower boost in Quincy, I defended a lot of stuff. And I defended a lot of purples. And speaking of purples, that's what we're going to be sending our opponent. Massive purple rush, we're going to balloon boost it, and I think that should be a good game. Yes, it is. And that's really the thing, as I've been saying throughout this series. When you're first starting out, if you know your rush is better than your opponent, you're probably going to win most of your games. Yes, I know about the arena leagues. We completed a battle ready quest. Get 20 monkey money. Get Quincy to level 7 during a game. I'll probably do that in Bonanza when I play that on my own. Alright, we got that. I'm actually going to equip that because it looks nice. And that's what I have on my main account now too. I want the animated one, but the season only has 3 days left, so I don't think I can get it. But let's hop into another game. I am so glad to be back. I do not like taking breaks. We're actually... Let's use Quincy now, and maybe we can get him to level 7. Same strategy that we're going to be using. We'll probably use the tack shooter as our main popping power tower. But if our opponent is going to eco at us, we might actually start off with the wizard. But obviously we're going to start off with Quincy right there on this map. And then let's see what our opponent does. Okay, they are going to send us eco. So I'm going to get a wizard right about here. Not too worried about leaks. Let's get the fireball though. So they're using tack shooter, which is a good choice. Tack shooter is good on this map. But I think in this case, because the wall of fire is so expensive, it might go around here. As long as the hitbox is a little bit in here and it hits it here, then when it comes back, it's going to be the perfect spot for that wall of fire, because if you can get that wall of fire where at an intersection point where the balloons go over it twice, you're going to be very good during the mid-game rounds. Especially once you got that necromancer pop off the purple layer, they come around here, they get burnt by the wall of fire. It's pretty much a very good strategy. And you can see it's a little off, but it's still hitting them there, so that's exactly what we wanted. And that's why we put our wizard there. So our opponent looks like they know what they're doing a little bit, but they still look new to the game. Which, I mean, in Yellow Stadium, what else do you expect? You're gonna get newer players because it's a lower arena. And that's fine. I have no problem with that, but what they should have done is right here, they should have got a 2-3-0 blade shooter. That's all they need to be defending all of this. They could also go with a tack sprayer here and a tack sprayer here, but it is more expensive and it's not as good. And that's another thing that I meant to correct myself on. I've been going for the tack sprayer most of the time, but the 2-3-0 blade shooter is better and that's what I'll be going with from now on. Now, Tack Farm Wizard is what I normally would use, but on this map specifically, there's like 3 farm spots if you get really good placement, so I wouldn't bother with it. But I do think I have the farm unlocked, so I'll have to go through and check that. But if I have the money for it, the monkey money for it, and I don't have it unlocked, I'll get that at the end of this video. That way I have it, because I will be doing a few videos with the farm. And eventually we'll have all the towers and hopefully all the heroes unlocked. But if we don't unlock all the heroes by the time we get to the Hall of Masters, then I'm not going to worry about it. But as you can see, this Wall of Fire is defending pretty much everything. Quincy does his job here and there. We may leak a few lives like we did there, here and there. Let's go for the Shimmer. But like I said, once we have the Necromancer, we're going to be pretty much unrushable during the mid-game rounds. As long as we have a tower boost and Quincy's level 3 ability, we should defend everything. And we're going to go for the Necromancer right now. And let's clear this obstacle. Now that we got the Necromancer, Quincy can pop down those purples, and so can the Necromancer. And then next round, we will send our opponent the Deadly Purple Rush. I want to beat them to the punch. If I can get there first, then I want to get there first. Balloon boost them as per usual. And let's see how that goes. It looks rough, but I'm not sure if that's enough to be a good game or not. Does not look like it. They've got the glue, alright. Gonna send some space rainbows. Then now we're gonna send some regen rainbows with a little bit of purples over top of them. And that right there is gonna layer the rush, so that way the purples are over top. And then the regen rainbows can do their thing and regen up to a higher class of balloon when they leak. And unless that's screen lag, that should be a GG. Okay, that looks like screen lag, which is unfortunate. But we're gonna get a 2-3-0 blade shooter right there just to help us out. And let's eco with grouped greens for now. And I'm gonna save up a little bit of money, then retry that regen rainbow rush. Sometimes it's not worth it, but I don't think I sent nearly enough in the first place. So I just want to save up some and try again. So after the next income boost, let's go ahead and send regen rainbows. And then we'll get purples over top and we'll use our last balloon boost. Kind of unfortunate, but if we get the win, then it's worth it. And we will get the win off that, so that's all I'll take it. I don't mind using all my balloon boosts or all my tower boosts if it ensures me a victory. And that's not how you think all the time, but it can actually help you quite a lot if you know when to go for it. In that case, I knew they were struggling to the regen rainbows and the purples, but I knew I didn't send a big enough rush, so since I sent a bigger one, I ended up getting the victory, and sometimes that's all it takes. Let's go to the season, claim our quest, and then let's check if we have... Okay, I did unlock the banana farm. I believe I did that during the 50 subscriber special. So what I am going to do now I want to unlock the ice monkey and the sniper monkey. Is there any other primary I want to get right now? There's the glue or the boomerang. Let's get the boomerang. You know, that way I can get some more variety in the strategies. And when you're in the beginning of the game, honestly, just spend your monkey money on towers. If you've seen me in my other videos use, like, let's say the Spike Factory, and you want to use that tower, and you know that you can use it well, go ahead and get it. Don't bother going through primary, getting all these, military, getting all these, if you're not going to use, like, the monkey ace. At the beginning of the game, you really don't need it, and you would be better spending your monkey money on something like a Dartwing Gunner or a Sniper. So just keep that in mind. We're gonna play one more game and that'll be it. And I hope you guys are still enjoying this series. I hope I'm helping you guys out, because that's my goal with this series, because it's a beginner series. I want beginners to learn not only how to play the game, but to be able to play the game with confidence that you can win. We're going to be using the same strategy we have for this video, because we're on Plutonium Mines again. I didn't want to skip it and get something worse, so that's why we're not skipping it, and that's why we're going to be playing on it again. So I hope you guys don't mind. But this is a case where I'm actually going to set Gwendolyn down first. That is not a great Dartling Gunner spot. There's one up here where you can get it shooting pretty much in a straight line. Much better spot. So keep that in mind, because with it being placed right there, it can shoot this way or this way. But if it was shooting in a straight line, it would be much better. So we're going to use pretty much the same strategy as last time. We're going to put a wizard there. Get the fireball on it. And since we have Gwendolyn, we won't be doing as much damage during the early game, just because Quincy's arrows do actually do a bit more damage. But once we have the wall of fire, it shouldn't matter. And speaking of the wall of fire, we're going to get that right now. So it's in an okay spot, but it would be better if it was over here. Now you can always, if you go with the top path, you can target it, but the bottom path you need for defending camos. So make sure that you go with the bottom path, especially if you're going to go for the Necromancer. You have to go for the bottom path anyway. The middle cross path is going to be better for you in the long term. Now, let's target Gwendolyn's cocktail ability right there. We're going to be a little bit aggressive with Space Eco, just for a little bit, because if it does get past this wizard, the Dartling Gunner is going to struggle a bit, but we might have to wait for the AI to get over there before that happens. But since it's not happening, and they have the wall of fire now, we're gonna go back to going with group blues. And then it's pretty much the same process. We're gonna get the shimmer now. Now we're saving up for the necro. Now, Gwendolyn and the Necromancer aren't gonna be able to pop purples the greatest, but we should still survive if we get rushed. And if we have to, if I'm quick enough, I could always sell this and get a Blade Maelstrom, and then we'd be perfectly fine. So that's always an option. Now I'm thinking around 20 minutes is going to be the perfect length for these videos. If you guys want them any shorter or any longer, let me know. The max I can do is like a half hour. But I feel like 15 minutes isn't really that long because you only get like 2 games in. But 20 minutes, you can get about 3 games in. And it's usually... I think that it's better for the viewer and that you guys would prefer about 20-minute videos instead of longer ones or shorter ones. So I guess just let me know what you think and I'll adjust it based on that. Now it looks like they're preparing a necromancer. They look like they're more prepared for regen rainbows, however. But we're gonna send purples immediately. And if they send us purples, we're gonna immediately tower boost. And we're gonna balloon boost on their side with all these purples. And that should be enough to give us the victory. The laser shock and the 2 wizards could not pop the purples. So that's what ends up happening. It looks like that guy has been through that a little too much, but you know, when you're learning, sometimes that's all it takes. And if you keep losing to the same thing, then you'll learn not to do that. But with that said, we're in 2nd place. Let's claim our reward for that. And then I will see you guys in the next video.